Hi guys, my name is Andrea. I'm going to be working through your warm-up today. A couple things before we get started. If you want, we can, a couple of pieces of equipment that you might want to use during the equipment or warm-up is a resistance band. We'll probably use that one time, and then if you also want to do some weight for your warm-up, kind of the strength-based moves, you're more than welcome to, but we'll get started. So what we're going to first start with is marching in place, just to kind of get our heart rate up. Nothing too crazy. If you want, you can just work those arms with it too, kind of really drive them up. For higher intensity, you can always kind of do more like knee lifts, just to really bring it up kind of closer to your body, but just something real slow. And then we're going to do some frontal and lateral raises. So that's where you can bring in your weights to increase your intensity. If you want, you can just drop the weights and just do body weight for a lower intensity so it's not too much on your shoulders. Okay, so we're going to do this for 3, 2, and 1. But we're going to keep going, and now we're going to do lateral raises and frontal raises. Like I said, higher intensity, you can add in that weight. It is right there for me, but I'm just going to keep going with the body weight. You can do some slower movements just to really get it in there. Nice work. You don't want to get your arms above your shoulders. Just kind of keep them nice and parallel to the ground. Don't go too high. Let's do this for 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So now we're going to do some calf raises, but then we're going to work in our balance movements. So what I'm going to suggest you do is find something that's elevated to increase the intensity. If you want, you can just do it straight on the ground to lower the intensity. But what we're going to do is if you need like a wall to kind of balance yourself throughout the exercise, you're more than welcome to, or you can put it out to the sides on your hips just to gather yourself. So what we're going to do is we're going to do single leg calf raises. And you're just going to do nice slow movements. Try to go up as high as you can, kind of hold it, and then do a controlled movement down. And what we can also do to kind of increase the intensity is we can do a calf raise, and since our leg is up, we can just do a side leg raise after each one. And we're going to go on the left side for about 8 more. If you need to gather yourself, just make sure you're grabbing onto that wall. Do that calf raise, and then the side leg raise to increase that intensity. Let's do 3 more. 2 and 1. So now we can switch sides. Make sure you're getting that balance. We're going to go to that calf raise. And if you need to like gather yourself before you do that next calf raise, just so that way you can get your balance back, more than welcome to. Go calf raise, side leg raise, calf raise. And since this one is more of a balance exercise, just make sure you go nice and slow so that way you're not throwing your body around the workout. And if you want, if it's just too much, you can always do a calf raise, just both of them together. Do a 1, and then go on to the other leg. Woo. Let's do 3 more. And last one. Okay, so now we're going to do reverse flies. So this is one where you can either grab your weights. You can increase the intensity by adding more, or just do body weight for a lower intensity. So what we're going to do, from a side view, you're going to get a slight bend at the hip. You're going to hang your arms all the way down to as far as you can, just extended. And you're just going to bring them up to the sides. Nice slow movements. Kind of squeeze that scapula once you're up at the top. Keep a nice neutral spine. Nice work. From the front view. With keeping that neutral spine there. We're going to do this a couple more times, and then we're going to do our tricep kickback. So make sure once you're up at the top, you're squeezing that scapula together and lowering your weight or just your arms. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so now we're going to do tricep kickbacks. So it's pretty much just you're going to have that same slight bend at the hip. You can, from the side view, you can have your arms kind of up near your chest, and you're just pretty much going to be lowering them and extending them all the way back, squeezing that scapula again, and bringing them back. Again, with that higher intensity, you can grab some weight if you want, or just do body weight. For a lower intensity, this is a warm-up, so you don't have to go too crazy. But make sure you're keeping the nice neutral spine. And once you're back into your beginning phase, just make sure you take a good deep breath in, extend all the way out, and then exhale your breath as you come back in. Do this for a couple more, and then we're going to work our way into bicep curls. Nice work. From the front view, you can kind of either keep your chin up, just so that way you're kind of thinking more about that neutral spine in the back. Nice work. You can get a nice slight bend at the knee, just that way you're not locking your knees while you're doing this exercise. Go 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So now we're going to do our bicep curls, but we're also going to incorporate our squats into it. So we're just going to get hit two exercises kind of in one. So what we want to do, if you want higher intensity, we can grab those weights. If you want lower intensity, drop the weight and just do body weight. So since we are adding in that squat, we want to make sure we have our feet shoulder distance width apart, so that way we can perform our squats properly, and we don't want to go too far over our toes with our knees. So what we're going to do is we're going to do our bicep curl. So we want to make sure that we tuck our elbows into the side, bring that weight or lowering phase for you back down, and then you're still going to do a squat. For our squats, if you want a higher intensity, you're going to sit back farther into it, go about 90 degrees. If you want a lower intensity, go, your range of motion is just pretty much your intensity level, so lower will be like 45, whatever you can get. So from a side view, we got our bicep curl, and then our squats. Bicep curl, and then our squats. Make sure you're keeping your nice neutral spine throughout all these exercises. And same thing, you can do a good deep breath in when you're doing your bicep curl, and then exhale on your squat. Just gonna keep doing this one. Nice work. And then kind of once you are finished with that squat, make sure you're squeezing your glutes all the way up at the top. There you go. Let's do this a couple more times, and then we're going to switch back into a sumo squat. So it's going to be a little bit different. It's just going to work a little bit different muscle groups. So let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so now our sumo squats, they're going to be a little bit different. What you want to do is have a wider stance, or wider base kind of, and you're going to turn your feet out, and you're just, as far as you can, that's going to be the best for this, and you're just going to squat. Range of motion is going to be your intensity level. If you go farther into that sumo squat, you're going to feel it more into your abductors and adductors. There you go. From the side view, making sure you're keeping that neutral spine like always. Good deep breath in from your starting position, down, and then exhale on the way up. This is one that's you're gonna definitely feel it more in your hips. So if you want, you can bring your feet in together, so that way it's lower intensity on those joints. But make sure you're having your feet facing out. We're going to do this for a couple more times, and then we're going to work into some side lunges. Good work. After this one, we'll just take a nice little drink break, just catch our breath. And while you're doing that, I'll explain our next movement. So just doing a couple more times. Let's go for about 8 more seconds. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. So grab your quick little drink break. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to work into our side lunges. Pretty self-explanatory. You're going to take a good step to your right first and kind of lean into that side lunge. And you're going to feel it on your insides, inside thighs. And you're just going to come back up and you're going to go switch, alternate back and forth. Same thing throughout the entire exercises. Make sure you're keeping a nice neutral spine so that way you're not bending yourself over your body. Keeping those toes pointed forward. And you don't want to be like going too fast so that way you're not bouncing back and forth. Just kind of nice slow movements. Good deep breath in and exhale on the way back up. We're going to do this a couple more times, and then we're going to do a different type of lunge. It's going to be more of where you're driving your heel down into the ground to get those stretch in the back. A couple more times. Nice work, nice work. If you want kind of like a lower intensity, you can kind of bring your base closer together, and you can just go to side, so that way your range of motion is decreased. If you feel like you can go out really far, you're more than welcome to. I am not that flexible. I will have a smaller base of support than some other people. Okay, let's do this. 4, 3, 2, and 1. So now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of do the same stance that we do on a basic lunge. We're going to bring our right foot all the way forward. But instead of kind of really getting into that lunge where you're driving your knee down, what you're going to do is drive your heel down instead and just kind of lean into it. You can definitely feel it kind of in your hip flexors as well. Just kind of push it forward. Kind of come back to your starting position so that way you're not just holding it. And then just keep going back and forth. We're going to do this a couple times on this side. And then we will switch to the left leg. If you want a bigger base of support for a higher intensity, you can kind of bring your right foot forward or your left foot back. Just kind of hold it there. Last one, but we're going to hold it. So let's hold that for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so I'm going to do this from the front view now, but we're going to bring our left foot forward, and then we're going to drive that heel back on your right leg. And you don't want to have your feet to the side. You kind of want to have them going forward, parallel to each other, and just really sit into it. Kind of come back into your starting position, and then really go back into it, sit into it, come back up, hold it. Let's take a good deep breath in, and then exhale as we pop back up to our starting position. Go forward and back. Let's do this for 2 more times. 1 more, and we're going to hold it. Hold it there for 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so now we're going to go down to our sitting position, or work our way down to the ground. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually start on our hands and knees. We're going to first start with some bird dogs, but we're going to incorporate some crunches in between. So what you want to do is have your palms kind of shoulder distance width apart. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your right arm, extend it all the way out in front of you, parallel to the ground. But at the same time, you're going to take your opposite leg, so your left leg, and extend it and make it parallel to the ground. And as you come back down, what you're going to do is tuck your elbow in and drive that knee up as in you're going into a crunch position. Make sure you're tucking in those abdominals when you're in that crunch phase. And what we're going to do is just alternate. So left arm and right leg. And then you're going to tuck it in into a crunch. You're just going to keep alternating. Make sure when you're up on that arm phase and leg phase, you're making sure you're keeping yourself like a nice neutral spine. You don't want to be like kind of up and like hyperextending or anything. And then back down. Do this one a couple more times, and we're going to go into a nice cat-cow. This one kind of works your balance a little bit since you are off center. So just make sure you do nice slow movements. And if you need to catch yourself before you go into that crunch phase, you can just extend yourself, bring it back down, and then do a crunch phase. Let's go 2 more on each side. Nice work. 1 more. Okay, and last one. Okay, so now what we're going to do is our cat-cow phase. It's pretty much in the same position where you kind of look like you're tabletopping a little bit. And you're going to have your arms shoulder distance width apart. And you're just going to arch that back up into your cat phase and just kind of really sit into it for a second. And then what you're going to do is bring your chin all the way up to as high as you can. Really kind of tuck or flex those abdominals on this phase, and then go back down into that cat phase. Nice slow movements. Tuck in your chin on this phase, and then bring it high up into the sky. What we're going to do is we're going to take a good deep breath in up into that cat phase, and then exhale on the cow phase. Do this one a couple more times. Good deep breath in, and exhale. 1 more, and then exhale. So now what we're going to do is we're going to do our push-ups. We're going to have different modifications. If you want a higher intensity, you can just do our normal push-ups. Lower intensity, you can bring your knees down to the ground. You could also increase your intensity by your stance for a wider push-up, or you can do a narrow push-up. Whatever you are feeling this morning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lower my intensity. I'm going to bring my my knees down to the ground. Make sure that you're keeping that nice neutral spine, so that way you're not just kind of like working the upper body. You want to work everything. And we're just going to do this one a couple times since push-ups are not always fun. Let's do about 8 push-ups. Make sure you do a good deep breath on the way down and exhale on the way up. Let's go 3 more. And last one. Okay, nice work. Since we're still kind of on that knees, we're going to incorporate a child's pose stretch. So what you want to do is kind of get on your knees. And what you're going to do is just kind of walk yourself out with your arms all the way down to the mat, and just kind of sit there for a couple seconds. Take some good deep breaths in, and then exhale. And then as far as you can work yourself out into that stretch, that will be a higher intensity, where you're just going to sit there for a couple. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. So now what we're going to do is we're going to work our way to the back side. So we're going to flip over. And what we're going to do is Russian twists. So you're going to either, if you want a higher intensity, you can have your feet off the ground. It kind of works balancing a little bit too, or you can just have your heels kind of touching the ground just slightly. What you want to do is you want to rotate your body and kind of touch your hands behind yourself, not to the side. Just that way you're really turning that trunk for you. So what you want to do is then you're just going to alternate on each side. So you're going to do this for maybe like 10-15 seconds. Just go as fast as you can. For that entire intensity, again, you can just lift up your legs. So let's go. And you kind of want to do a deep breath in and then exhale once you get back into your starting position. So let's go. Nice work. Let's go for 5 more seconds. You can really push yourself a little bit. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to lay down fully, and we are going to do some of, they're called penguins. So what you want to do is lay down on your back. You're going to have bring your kind of heels closer to you, as close as you can to your body. For a lower intensity, if you want, you can take them out, because then what you want to do is you take your arms, you're going to slightly turn your body, and you're going to touch your heels, and you're just going to alternate. So that higher intensity, it's going to make you reach more. Lower intensity, you're going to bring your heels closer to your body. Just going to do this a couple times. Make sure you do some good deep breaths in. On the right side, come back and exhale. Let's go a couple more. Let's go 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So now what we're going to do, they're called flutter kicks. So we're still going to remain on our backside. And what you want to do is, if you want, you can put your hands underneath you. Kind of lowers the intensity for you. If you want, you can just put your arms out to the side. That'll increase the intensity. But so you're going to put them there. And what you want to do is just pretty much like you're kicking in the air. So, but you don't want to like bring your legs up too high, just kind of nice slow ones. And you're just going to alternate back and forth. For this one, you want to really activate that core and just do nice slow movements. Take some good deep breaths in and release. Do this a couple more times. And then we're going to get into more of our stretching. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay? So now we're going to go back up to the seating position. I'll go from the side view first, and what we're going to do is a hamstring stretch. So what you're going to do is bring your right leg all the way out, bring your left leg into the side. You can have it sitting up, whatever you want. And you're just going to reach out to that toe, ankle, shins, whatever your range of motion is for it. And what you want to do is take a good deep breath in, and then exhale and see if you can reach just a little bit farther down. We're going to hold that for a couple more, and then we're going to switch to the other side. You don't want to go to the point of discomfort, just kind of nice where you can definitely feel it in that hamstring. You can feel a little bit in that calf as well. Just hold it there. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. So now what we're going to do is bring our left leg out to the front of you, fully extended. Right leg to your body, and just kind of reach out as far as you can. Same thing, we're going to take a good deep breath in and see if we can just, on our exhale, we're going to see if we can just reach just a little bit farther. So let's go. Good deep breath in. And see if you can work yourself out just a little bit more. I'll hold that for a couple more. Nice stretch there. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. So now what we're going to do is we're going to, from the side view, you're going to take your right leg, put it over your left one. You're going to take your left arm, put it on the outside of that right leg, kind of push it as far as you can, but you also want to make sure you're rotating that trunk, so that way you can kind of get that back stretch there for you. Just kind of push it as far as you can, just so that way you increase your intensity and you can work both of those muscle groups. Because then you can get a little bit into those glutes on that stretch as well. Take a good deep breath in and exhale. We're going to kind of slow down, lower our heart rate with all these stretches now. Okay, so now what we're going to do is switch. Let me do a front view. You're going to have your right leg forward, your left leg over. Take that right arm or right elbow and kind of push on the outside of that left leg, and really rotating that trunk. There you go. You're going to hold that for a couple more, and then we are going to switch into butterflies. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. So you can release, and what we're going to do is we're going to bring our feet together. The closer you have it to your body is going to be a higher intensity. The farther your feet out, it's going to be a lower intensity. What you want to do is just kind of work your upper body as close as you can to that ground. That'll also increase your intensity on this stretch. Just going to hold that for a little bit. Nice work. And then we're going to go back into our standing position. Really lean into this stretch though. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to slowly get back up to our standing position. Take a quick second, get some water. And what we're going to do is our quad stretch. So if you have some pretty good balance, you can just do it without any assistance. You're just going to pretty much take your right leg and bring it as close as to your body. You can use your hand just to kind of drive it further back into your glutes back there. Or if you need a nice balance, you can grab a wall, a partner, whatever you need. And you're just going to hold it there for a couple seconds. Nice work. Just hold it there if you want, and then let's go 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to switch legs. We're going to bring our left leg up and just really drive it as far as you can into your glutes again. We're going to hold it there. And then our next stretch, we're definitely going to need a wall. If not, we can always just modify it to where we are doing it without any assistance. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. So it's going to be a bicep stretch. So what you want to do is you can grab that wall. What you want to do is you're going to put it against the wall, your hand or your palm fully against it, and bring your body close as you can to that wall for that deeper stretch. And you're just going to kind of push into that wall with your body and just hold it there. And this is going to be for your bicep stretch. But if you don't have anything around you, you're just kind of doing it in kind of like a wide open area. What you can do is you're going to bring your palms all the way out, flip your thumbs over, and then just really kind of push the scapula together and just kind of bring your thumbs as close as you can in the behind. So we're just going to do that. But then I'm going to switch over to my left side for that standing wall stretch for it. Hold it there. And then we're going to work into a tricep stretch here in just a second. Let's hold it for 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we have 2 different types of tricep stretches. What we can do is you can put your right arm over your shoulder and bring your left arm and bring it up. Try to get your fingertips to touch as close as you can. If you feel like it's not just getting enough of a stretch because you can't get your fingers close together, you can just keep your right arm over your shoulder and take your left arm, and you can put your arm on that back side of either your forearm or your upper arm. You don't ever want to grab your elbow, so don't grab those joints. Just kind of hold it there. And then we're going to switch onto the other side. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. So let's go to the left side. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're just going to grab a resistance band, a towel, whatever you need. And you're just going to take it behind your back. You're going to pull it as much as you can, kind of a smaller, you don't want to like have it all the way out here. You're going to get your hands as close as you can and just kind of stretch it and pull it as hard as you can. Same thing works with a towel. And you're just going to hold it there. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Let's finish off with some cardio. What we're going to do is we're going to do kind of some jumping jacks, and we can either modify it to increase the intensity where you're just jumping out and bringing your arms all the way up to the side, or you're just going to do some side ones where you're not jumping and lowering that impact on the ground. Let's go do this one for 8 more seconds. This work, finish it off. 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Thank you for joining me today, and have a great rest of your day.